Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning LaLa. I am so excited to share with you the absolute necessary information you need to make your small business dreams a reality. Kedma is in the house. Thank you for being with us, by the way.
Thank you.
She is a national award-winning small business advocate and best-selling author. How did you get this wealth of information? What was your journey like?
Wow. Well, unfortunately, if I took you back in time, if there was a time machine, I would say that in 2001, you would have found me sobbing my eyes out, sitting on a curb because I had just filed bankruptcy. And most women who file bankruptcy do it because of a divorce. And second to that is either health or a job. So I'm sitting there saying, what do I do next? You have a degree, you're educated. And so I remember going back to my apartment. And about 2 weeks later, I received an envelope from Capital One, which is a credit card company. And I opened it up and it was for $200. Now, when I was a little girl, I used to play Monopoly. And I don't know if you've ever played Monopoly. I'm going to age myself. But when you play Monopoly, you get to go around the board. And do you know how much you get when you go through Go?
$200.
$200. So I was back in the game.
Oh, I love it.
I was back in the game in my mind. And then I said, what if I go on a journey to uncover all the funds and resources that are available to people like me who had a crisis but deserve the American dream? And that was a 15-year journey where I cracked the code, reverse engineered funding, and figured out how to find grants and resources regardless of your financial situation.
Wow. So your book is interesting because it's target funding.
Yes.
But it says a proven system.
Absolutely.
So we got to talk, girl.
Okay. I'm all in.
So tell us about the system.
So the proven system is, and here's what's so awesome. Each of you have this already and you don't know it. The proven system is that each of you in your own business has a variable. The variable is your business and the variable is you. And what you have to do is, instead of generalizing it, we have to be very niche. So for example, let's suppose that you identify as a woman who's gay in LA, who is starting an educational company that focuses on communication for autism. Every one of those is a variable. I can find funding for women, funding in LA, funding if you're a minority, funding if you identify as a lesbian, funding for education, and funding for autism.
But that all seems too good to be true. To tell you the truth, thinking about it, I would assume there's a lot of red tape, bureaucracy, that the application process would just be enormous. So what's it like to actually receive these funds?
I agree if it was nonprofit. For-profit is very different. So here's a real example. A few months ago, Prosper Portland, based in Portland, economic development organization, came out with a grant program. It was, I believe, $125,000 over 5 years. Now, here's the deal. There's always a funding party happening every single day of the week.
I'm one of the funding party.
That's right. The problem is most people don't know about the funding party, so you can't even crash it. So the program went like this. You had to be a for-profit. You had to be based in Portland. You had to be looking at working capital. You had to be considered Black or African American, and you had to be in the marijuana or cannabis business. If you qualified, it was really just one sheet to apply, and you received $25,000 every year for 5 years.
That is worth a one sheet for 25 grand.
One sheet.
But is there any kind of tips you might give to people who are applying to make their application stand out?
Yes. First, realize that most of the agencies are going to ask for the same thing. So have that already set up. They're going to ask for your website. They're going to ask for your product or service. They're going to ask for your mission. Figure that out ahead of time. The only difference is how you're going to use that money. And instead of, if we looked at funding like a pizza pie, most people see the pizza pie as one loan, one grant, one equity. And I say a pizza pie is 12 slices. Every slice represents a different funding stream. So just get that pre-work beforehand, and it's so much easier.
So how much are you talking? How much money are we talking?
Millions.
Like, okay.
Depends.
So can I hire you?
No.
To do my...
But you can buy the book. You can buy the book.
No, you can't.
I'll never feel like
I'm just kidding. I wrote the book as a GPS so that if you never wanted to talk to me again, you would learn all my secrets. And here is how I think about it. If I told you that for every year I worked on your behalf, you would pay me $1. And after 20 years, you would pay me $20. You'd say no brainer. The book is $15, and that's 20 years of my life teaching everyone. So to your point, you could literally follow the systems because we have already 100 resources in the book. And we're building a target funding database for people who don't have the time and allowing them to have the variables, and then we would provide them with a customized plan.
Wow, fantastic. What was the most difficult part of your journey and finding all these funding sources, and how have you made it easy for folks to find in the book?
Wow. Well, I have to say the biggest part of my journey, because I've been on it for 18 years, is the mindset. The universe knows what needs to happen, but there's humans that don't realize it, but they try to talk to you negatively and say it's not going to happen.
A lot of them realize it, but they're very clear. Yes.
Right. But the reality is just we had to really make sure that the resources were the real deal. And so we did not allow anybody in the book unless we actually investigated and made sure that a success story came out of it. And also, I don't talk about it, I live it. Back in 2008, I purchased my own office, no collateral, bad credit. You know, I filed bankruptcy. I have a 2,000 square foot office that's valued at $800,000. Now get this, 6% down. My interest has been fixed for a decade at 0.04%. That's less than 0.5%.
Wow.
Incredible.
It's impressive. You know, I think there's kind of two mindsets I find. One is being able to save money, and one's just making money. It's like, how much effort? I look at this and I go, okay, amazing. But if I put that much time and effort into getting funds when I just can sell something, right? How much time are we looking at? How much time does it take to do all this?
So it's never or, it's and. Think about this. Sales is always going to be an amazing way to generate money. But the and is money that you can receive by creating a funding calendar and knowing when the timing is and just applying for it. So it all depends on what your strategy is. Most of the people who come to me don't have $1 million. They're not coming to me and saying, you know what, the banks want me right now. They're saying, I have a challenge and I need money. And we look at what do you need right now and what do you need tomorrow? Because whatever got to you to where you are today had nothing to do with me. Had to do with your strategy, had to do with your time management. So we have to change that a little. So you deserve the funds. It's out there, but it's a lottery. If you don't apply, you will never win.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Fantastic.
So tell people where they can find your book, how they can work with you.
Well, obviously through you guys, right? I always want to honor the hosts through you guys. Through KedmaOugh.com. If you find another Kedma on the internet, run. There should only be one of me. Through LinkedIn and through targetfunding.com. And I always make myself available.
Wow, thank you so much, Kedma. Stay tuned. We'll be back tomorrow.
Thank
Good Morning
you.
Wonderland.